So we've had this month's PlayStation Plus games for a few days now. I think there's been enough kind of time to play through them a little bit, figure them out, see what's decent and what's not. So it's that point where we're going to kind of do the little review in the order of the way that I kind of preferred them, and then obviously it'd be great if you guys could leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, which was your favourite, why didn't you like certain games, and just the usual stuff really. Now before we do get into it, if you guys are looking for a new controller, whether or not it's modded, custom, or just ones with buttons and paddles on the back, make sure you check out the channel sponsor PS Mods. Their controllers are awesome. I actually did an unboxing video and been testing one out recently. A PS5 controller where it's got all the modifications and stuff on it. It feels beautiful, it plays absolutely amazing, and the paddles on it just work absolutely fantastic. Definitely worth checking out. There's a link down below and there's also a discount code which will pop up on screen. It's the word Central and you'll also see it down there as well. But let's get into it. Now I've got to say, coming in at the third spot, it's got to be FIFA 2022. Now, it's one of them games, if you like FIFA, if you're a FIFA fan, you're going to love it, but chances are you're probably already going to own it. Anyone that I know that likes FIFA usually buys it the day that it comes out and they play it all year round. The fact that it's getting to the point where it's coming to the end of the year for FIFA, so the next one or whatever will be out in a few months or so, it's just kind of that game that people aren't too bothered about it. If they don't own it, they're just not a FIFA fan. So like me, the last time I proper played a FIFA game was back in like FIFA 16, and that was playing the Ultimate Team. The one thing that I will say on this, I like the Volta mode where it's like street football, just messing around, that kind of stuff. I've been enjoying messing around on that, which you can see in the gameplay in the background. However, it still has to come in at the number 3 spot for me personally. Coming in at number 2, it is Tribes of Midgard. Now, I was intrigued by this one. I liked the look of it, the whole gathering and fighting massive monsters and stuff. However, the one thing that let it down for me was, I know it sounds awful, but it's the whole subtitle thing. I was expecting to jump into it and it just feel like a game that had sucked me in, and it really wasn't. I found the fact that having to constantly read the subtitles on it was just putting me off a little bit, and I don't think there was a setting to actually change the language that's spoken in the game to English. So there was a lot of stuff, same as there was a few weird little aspects, the point of you following cats around and doing what they're telling you to do at the start of the game, and then you're just beating up bosses and stuff, which it felt very, very basic to me personally. Not the worst game in the world, but definitely not the best. Out of the 3 out this month, to be fair, Tribes of Midgard, it's probably borderline the same as FIFA, the amount that I enjoyed it. Played it a little bit, it's not awful, just not something that I'm going to put a lot of time into. But I did prefer it a tiny bit over playing FIFA, so that's why it's getting the number 2 spot. Coming in at number 1 though, Curse of the Dead Gods. Now, I was intrigued by this one a little bit, I weren't too sure what to expect. It kind of looked like a dungeon runner, Diablo-esque style game, which in a way it kind of is. It's a little bit more basic than like Diablo, it's very cartoony as well, but to be fair, it was alright to play. You kind of start off in a dungeon, you go through, and it's the usual thing of dodging, and when you're doing the tutorial, it's just teaching you how to do your combination moves and stuff, so you're using your sword, and then firing a weapon or whatever it is to do a bit of range, but then you can combine them together, which just takes off enemy health a lot quicker. The one thing is that it says is when you've not got a room lit up, you take 50% more damage, so you press a button to constantly equip your torch so you can see, and you'll see these little things that you can set on fire scattered around the map, which again just kind of makes it to the point where it's lighting up the room a little bit and makes it a little bit easier. The enemies on it weren't too bad, they weren't too fancy either, it was kind of the same kind of thing over and over. Again, it's not a massive game that I'd say everyone needs to play it, you're going to love it, but it's also not a game that I think everyone would hate either. If you're into Diablo, if you're into dungeon running games, I think it's one that if you give it a try, you probably get a few hours entertainment out of it. However, in the long haul, personally, I just think there's too many games out there like this that just play a hell of a lot better. That's my personal opinion, but this one's coming in at the number 1 spot because out of the 3 games that have come out this month, this is probably the one that I've enjoyed the most. Again though, curious to see what you guys think. Leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Which order would you place them in? If you could get rid of one game completely and swap it with something else, what would it be? Leave a comment, let me know down below. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, a like would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. But thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you next time.
much you left, don't deny.